Hey there, everybody in the FFBE Global Group. Garrett's here with another Ask an Old Mog video. I'm excited to say this is the 10th video, episode number 10. And happy Halloween to everybody. I hope you're enjoying the Halloween event that's going on, just started. Today's video is going to be kind of short, I think pretty easy to go through. And we're going to be talking a little bit about what to spend your currency on in the King Mog shop if you've never done this before. So if this happens to be, your first entry into the game, your first big event, I don't know if there's even been any big King Mog events where, or since I've started doing these videos, so I thought it would be a good time to kind of talk a little bit about what's in the shop and what you could spend your currency on if you've never seen some of these items before. That way you can kind of know how to kind of plan what you want to do, what you want to pick up for sure. There's kind of a lot of things in there, and if you've never seen them before or you're not used to it, or just want to have an opinion out there, and kind of look at it, we can look at that together. So without further ado, here we go. And the question I'm asking is, what are some good ways to spend the exchange currency with King Mog? If you've never done this before, don't know how to get there, really easy to get to. We're just going to go over here and into the vortex. At the very, very top, there's a little area that says exchange, and after you've been doing the Hallowed Eve elemental battle for a little while, you've gotten some currency, you can spend some points. You go right up here, takes you right to the exchange. He's right there in the middle, and you go talk to him. Click on item exchange, and here we are. So there's a big list of stuff, and you might get really overwhelmed thinking, oh my gosh, what am I gonna get at all this stuff, right? So many things I could potentially spend my currency on. I currently have 420,000, so I could get a lot of these things. So what should I focus on? My answer is that you're gonna want to buy everything, honestly. You want to buy as much of this as you can. Over time, you're going to be getting enough currency to get all of it, probably. Especially, there's something about the event that just seems to not be giving a ton of event points, even with a good team of units with high EX levels. We can talk a little bit about that too, but the higher rarity your units are that you're bringing specific to this event, the more event points you're going to get. There's just something about it. It just seems like I'm only getting about 1,000 points per run. Because of that, you're going to get a ton of currency. So really, you should get everything. But let's say for some reason you don't super farm the event, you don't get a ton of currency for one reason or another, you don't have all the units, blah blah blah. There's lots of reasons. You want to try and pick what you should really focus on. So I'm going to say that if you're doing that, you're not getting everything. I would focus on first the Silver Wild Fang Claw and the Departed Paladins items, and to go with that, the Prancing Flames, because you're going to use those, if I'm not mistaken, to upgrade those to the advanced forms. And you obviously want to make those items as good as you can. These are time limited. These are unique to this event, so you want to grab these and upgrade them to their fullest, especially if you plan on using the new carton or any units that use fists, for one reason or another. So I would focus on those two first. The Silver Wild Fang Claw, the Departed Paladin set, the Prancing Flames. And then after you've done that, the next rarest things in here, honestly, are going to be the Transcension Pearls, which are these red pearls, and the Omniprisms. I'm going to talk about Omniprisms in a second, because those are kind of unique items, but you're going to use your red pearls to upgrade your Neovisions units and your Neovisions Awakened units. If you're going to go all the way up to EX plus 3. So you're going to need those. It's good to go ahead and grab them here. These are kind of rare. They don't give these out a ton. You do get one of these every time you get a Neovisions unit and turn it into shards. But, if you don't pull a lot or you don't have very many, it's good to go ahead and grab these. These are good. Omniprisms, very, very good. 5-star select tickets, very, very good. You can use these to get extra copies of units, get units you don't already have. If you need to make a 7-star version or get an STMR, you could theoretically always use these 5-star summon tickets or select summon tickets to get the prism or an extra copy of a unit that you want to further awaken if it's a 5-star base unit. So those are good to grab. And then I would say the Scarlet Moon and the Wild Fang Heirloom, the original cartons, STMR and TMR. And I say those after all that because you could theoretically just go into the summon pool right now, the summon banner for either the new carton or the Ibarra banner, and grab a carton very, very easily. And so these are just they're limited to Halloween only, but they're also not the best items in the game. they're decent. These are not bad. I would recommend getting them, but you know, they're not that important. They're good if you have the new carton. They're good if you have a unit that's using fists, but they're just not the top priority. Then I would say the Super Trust Moogle exchange tickets. Sorry, I can't talk right now. These they give out kind of a lot, so they're not super rare. You do need a lot of them to get a Super Trust Moogle, so I would definitely grab them. These would be the things that I prioritize, and then after you've gotten all those things, you know, start grabbing other things that you want. You want these Trust Moogles? I've got a million of them, so I'm not that worried about them. King Metal Minitars, max level ones, you know, cool. Grab them. You know, if you need to awaken units. Burst pots, super good, even with the upgrade to how limit bursts gain levels now. These are still good to grab. All the regular pots, decent-ish, but you get so many of them from different events, especially raids. Fortisight and etc. you're going to be using to upgrade your abilities, so you can grab them. But you're going to want to focus on the stuff at the top of the list first. Everything else that you get on the bottom part of this list, all this stuff is just, you know, stuff that's in the game all the time, so don't worry about it. Put your priority on stuff that you can't get all the time, and that's the stuff at the top. Everything underneath Omniprism is very common. You can get it pretty much whenever you want, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. That's how I would, you know, prioritize items if I didn't have as much currency as I probably will end up. I haven't spent any yet, and I've already got 420,000. I've only run the event a couple of times today, and there you go. So there's that, but I do want to spend a little time talking about Omniprisms. So Omniprisms are, yeah, pretty rare. They don't give these out a lot, but they also have, despite having loads of potential, a very limited use. All you can use them for is awakening a 5-star base unit into a 7-star unit, because you normally need an extra copy to convert it into a prism, which you then turn, you know, fuse into the 5-star or the 6-star version of the form to turn it into a 7-star and blah 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 blah. But with an Omniprism, you can use it for any 5-star base unit and turn it into a 7-star. So that's useful because you don't have to have an extra copy. And that's going to be best used for time-limited 5-star base units, especially ones that can be turned into Neovision's Awakened units. So, for example, I used 2 of mine that I've had in the past on King Bradley and Roy Mustang from the Full Metal Alchemist event, because I only pulled 1 copy of them, despite, you know, multiple attempts at trying to get the good units. I only got 1 King Bradley and 1 Roy Mustang, and I figured, well, I want them at Neovision's Awakened, and I've got enough shards because they gave out plenty of shards in the event, and then I could convert them into 7-star versions. I used STMR Moogles on them because I had enough of them to justify, you know, trying to get these units to Neovision's Awakened, and I did. But those are both time-limited units. You know, they are not in the pool all the time. I can't just get a copy of them just by any random ticket, so I went for it. But you know, if you're really desperate for a unit and you don't have enough unit of choice tickets to grab a prism or an extra copy, you could use an Omniprism to awaken a normal 5-star base unit that's available in the game all the time to 7-star. But I really wouldn't recommend it. And the reason for that is just that they are fairly rare. They have a load of potential, these items, even though they're fairly limited to only 5-star base units for awakening them. They still have a lot of good use for limited collaboration units that are 5-star base. You at that point only need to pull 1 copy of them to get their 7-star form, because you have an Omniprism. You can just convert it, and there you go. You only need that 1 copy. You could use it on normal units. I wouldn't, unless I absolutely have to. I'm not gonna lie, I have used them because there was a while there where I was just hoarding these Omniprisms, and I had, I think, you know, 10 or 11 of them, and I just wasn't using them. So I just, at one point, I wanted a 7-star Steiner, and I said, I'm doing it. And I just went ahead and used it because I felt like it. Didn't feel like using all my unit of choice tickets. So, you know, there you go. That's Omniprisms in a nutshell. You know, if you have a different opinion on Omniprisms, I'd love to hear it, love to share it. Let's talk about it. But for maybe newer players, and we get this question a lot, hey, where do I get an Omniprism and what should I use it for? We see that question a lot when they give out Omniprisms, or when newer players are trying to awaken their 5-star units for the first time. So I thought I would talk about that, since there's 2 of them in the shop, and I definitely think you should get them. So there we are. So with that, that's going to be the end of the video. So if you have a different opinion on where you should prioritize these items, drop a comment. If you have a question you want to see in the next video, definitely drop a comment. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to try and address something specific that people have a question about. That way we can get some really good topics going. If you pulled Carton, I'd love to hear about it because Carton is kind of getting some mixed reviews, and I'm interested in all sides of that discussion. But yeah. Hopefully you have a good Halloween. Hopefully you enjoy this Halloween event that we have, and I look forward to talking to you all in the next video. Have a good one. I didn't wear the red sweatshirt because I had a blue sweatshirt on, and it seemed to look really good with my chair, and I thought, yeah, blue sweatshirt. Why not?